Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between Akiba Rubinstein and Efim Bogoljubov. This game was played in Hastings in 1922. Rubinstein had white pieces and he started with d4. Bogoljubov played d5, c4, the queen's gambit, c6, the Slav defense, maybe, e3, knight to f6, knight to c3, bishop to f5, white to move, c takes on d5 was played. This move was seen for the first time in 1886 in the World Chess Championship match between Zukertort and Steinitz. So, Zukertort was first to play this move and he also won that game. The game continued. Knight takes on d5. C takes on d5 is played more often nowadays. Knight takes on d5, bishop to c4, e6, fng to e2, knight to d7, Rubinstein castled kingside. Black to move. Queen to h4 was played. Let's take it back. Bishop to e7, bishop to g6, knight from 7 to b6, and knight from 7 to f6 are the other moves that black plays in this position. Back to our game. Queen to h4 was played, and this aggressive looking move never became popular. Why? Is it because of this game? Let's see. White to move. White can play f3 and then e4 if he wanted to have a solid game. Instead, Rubinstein decided to sacrifice the material for the initiative. e4. Bishop takes on e4, g3, queen to g4, knight takes on e4, queen takes on e4, f4, knight to e3, winning a bishop pair, bishop takes on e3, queen takes on e3, check, king to g2, queen to e4, check, rook to f3, knight to b6 attacking the bishop, knight to c3 attacking the queen, queen to f5, bishop to d3, queen to a5, a3, black to move, and black had to be careful. Knight to d7 was played. Let's take it back. A developing move like bishop to e7 would be perhaps played by many players. Then f5, and if now black castles kingside, then white wins with b4, and the black queen is trapped. Back to our game. That is why Bogoljubov played knight to d7, making the retreat of the queen possible. b4, queen to b6, attacking the pawn on d4. How to defend the pawn? Instead of defending the pawn, b5. Bishop to e7. Well, queen takes on d4 was tempting, but Bogoljubov wanted to bring more pieces in the game, so he played bishop to e7, b takes on c6, b takes on c6, rook to b1, and now queen takes on d4. Black is now 2 pawns up. All he needs to do is to castle, and he will have a fine game. Queen to c2. Black to move, and the castling must wait. Rook to b8 was played. Let's take it back. If castling, then bishop takes on h7 check, and after king to h8, rook to d3 wins a piece on d7. Back to our game. Rook to b8, rook takes rook, knight takes rook, and the target from d7 is removed. It is white to move, and this is the critical moment. Should white take on h7 or not? If white takes on h7, then black may play g6, trapping the bishop. What would you do? Would you play bishop takes on h7 or something else? Well, Rubinstein played bishop takes on h7. g6, like I said, trapping the bishop. Bishop takes on g6, f takes on g6, queen takes on g6, check. White has 3 pawns for the bishop, but black is still better materially. However, this is kind of a position Vikal Tal would choose any time with the white pieces. The game continued. King to f8. If king goes to d8, then rook to d3, and bye-bye queen. Back to our game. After check, king to f8, f5. Bogoljubov played bishop to c5, threatening checkmate on g1. How to defend g1 square? What would you do? Rubinstein played pawn takes pawn on e6, discovered a check. King to e7, white to move. This is a very important moment of the game. Rook to f7, check was played. h4 would make the life for the white king much easier. Note that in this variation, the rook is defending the knight on c3. Back to our game. In this position, rook to f7 check, king to d8, white to move. h4 is not good now, because of queen takes knight, the rook is no longer on f3. Back to our game. Rubinstein played knight to e4, black to move, queen to b2 check. The other way to go was queen to g1 check, and then the white king would go to f3. Back to our game. Queen to b2 check, intending to win the pawn on a3. King to f3, queen takes pawn on a3, creating a passed pawn on the a file. All that black wants to do now is to trade queens and to win in the endgame. The game continued. The white king is in check, king to g4, bishop to e7, queen to g7, black to move. How would you continue? Rook takes on h2 was played. Let's take it back. Rook to f8 should have been considered, but Bogoljubov could not resist winning the pawn on h2, white to move. Queen to g8 check, king to c7, and now queen to f8. This is the move that Bogoljubov somehow missed. King to b7, white to move. How would you take on e7, with the queen or with the rook? Rubinstein played queen takes on e7. He wanted to trade queens now, and to make the most of his dangerous passed pawn. Queen takes queen. Rook takes queen check, king to b6. The material is now equal, but the white pawn on d file is not far from the finishing line. The game continued. Rook to e8, attacking the knight, king to c7, e7, and now Bogoljubov regretted taking that pawn on h2. Black is in trouble. King to d7 was played. Let's take it back. If something like rook to h7, then rook to c8 check, and after king to d7, white to move and to checkmate in one. And the move is pawn to e8, queen checkmate. Back to our game. King to d7 was played, giving up the piece on b8. Rook takes knight, king takes pawn, rook to b7 check, king to e6, rook takes on a7, king to d5, king to f4, c5, rook to a5, king to d4, knight takes on c5, rook to f2 check, king to g4, and Bogoljubov resigned. I will not show you any variation for the entertainment purpose. You had enough entertainment. I will just tell you a short story. The rumor says that Tal's uncle was showing this game to Tal. And you know what Tal said? Tal said to his uncle, "I can play like that too." And this is what Tal's uncle said. "Misha, you can't play like this. These are masters. First, I will teach you how to move pieces, and then, for your 5th birthday, I will show you 4 moves checkmate." It is nice to have uncle like that, isn't it? What do you think of this game? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.